Okay, so back to some Surron related stuff. This video, besides being a how-to on how to install these forks, should be really helpful for anybody who's considering getting either the Manitou Dorado or the FastAce WARP9 combo forks for your light bee or for your e-moto. And I've had tons of experience now, as the time I'm recording this, with both of these, so hopefully I can give you some valid advice. Now, back when I built my Dirt Beast almost 3 years ago in 2023, there wasn't such a huge selection of forks available on the market. Our Floxa didn't even exist then, nor did that brand that cost $3,000 for the combo. I kind of put it out of my memory what that was because the price is crazy. Anyway, I knew when I built the bike that I didn't want the stock forks, and I remembered that in the past I had had great experience with the Manitou Dorados on my Kuberg Freerider that I got back in 2016. I really love the suspension on that bike, but the thing is, that was a 79-pound and 8-kilowatt e-moto, and it's very far from the 135 plus pounds and 25 kilowatts of my modded light bee. So anyway, I had seen the super sexy WARP9 CNC triple clamp they developed along with the FastAce combo that they sold together with it, and I always loved the look of that and the apparent strength of it, and really liked that. So finally this year got that combo. Okay, but before the installation part, let's go over first the pros and cons of the Dorado, since I have now had 2 full seasons riding it. Pros of the Dorado are, first of all, it's very light. I absolutely love how light they are, and really nothing else for the light bee compares as far as weight, lightness for the fork. Super responsive, very responsive, rebound on it. Very little flex considering how light they are, and I think they look really cool. So the Dorado obviously is famous in the downhill bike community. But cons for the Dorados, quite a few. First of all, they are way too soft for a 135-pound bike and 200-pound rider. In kilograms, that's 65 kilograms bike and 90 kilograms rider. They were bottoming out frequently, even on not very big jumps. Despite putting the maximum amount of air pressure in them, there was no way I could just get them from not bottoming out. Also, when you would go on a jump, go off a jump, there's not enough rebound force on the face of the jumps to give you the proper attitude in midair. So anyway, they just were not strong enough for the power and weight of this bike. Also, I found that the seals on them within a couple of years would always end up leaking and require a full seal rebuild kit, pretty regularly. So that got kind of annoying. Okay, anyway, now onto the build process. Okay, removing my Dorados, which have served me well for the past 2 years, 2 seasons. I'm going to talk about them more in the other part of this video. In general, I've been pretty happy with them. They're, really good forks. I would, a couple things I would recommend, just only up to about 165, 170 pounds. If you're heavier than that, plus the weight of the modded Surron, it's really too much weight for these forks. I'm about 200, and this, along with this build, it's really just too much weight for the forks. I like that they're light. They're not really flexible. They have a little bit of flex, but not bad. And the other thing is, both of the seals are leaking. That happens pretty commonly. It's not rare. So every couple years probably, you're going to need to get the Manitou rebuilt kit for these and redo the seals and everything inside. So anyway, excited. I've been wanting to get the WARP9 for 2 years. Excited to get it installed. So in process here, there's just, I'm going to put a link to the Charge Cycle Works install video for the WARP9 kit. They did a great install video, and no need to repeat the info here. I just want to add a couple quick things that they didn't mention in theirs. First of all, anytime when you remove the brake caliper, you should insert the little plastic spacers in there so they keep the pistons in the right location. These Maguras come with these spacers. If you have different ones for your band, or put something in there that will keep the pistons in the right place but not make the pads dirty. That's the first thing. The second thing is this guy. Not directly related, of course, to WARP9 suspension installation, but I just wanted to make a note that this head clamp, head tube clamp strengthener, super important piece to have on your bike, especially if you're doing big jumps, motocross riding, so on and so forth. So if you, if you didn't do it on your original build, while you have the bike apart, I highly recommend getting head tube clamp, because this is one of the weak spots of the frames where they can bend or break under high load. So like I said, in process here, the only thing that's a little non-standard about my install, rather than the normal way, is I don't have the stock factory bearing, the upper bearing in here. I would actually rather have it, but instead I've got this wolf tooth low profile one. I mentioned it in the original build video, but the reason was I bought my Dorado used, and the previous owner had cut the head tube way too short, and I had no extra space on the head tube, so I had to have a low profile bearing. But in general, the factory bearing, the tapered bearing that comes with it, is going to be stronger than this, and I would recommend that, but I can't get this race out now, so it's going to stay in there. Anyway, that's it, in process. Now start putting everything together. In process, because this is like, this is temporary, by the way, I'll explain later. I'm changing for steel bolts from titanium, taking those off. Because this is like an inch and a half higher than the Manitou was, all my cables were too tight, so it's taking a little extra time because I got to redo the whole cockpit, the wiring, you know, layout, doing my wiring organization. But coming together. Process. This thing. A recommendation: take a zip tie and just tie this up like on the seat somewhere on the bike, because it keeps like hanging and it's in the way. One other thing, like Charles Cycler said, remember to put the bumpers on. To do it, to get them to go on, I had to spit on that thing. So I'm proud to say that's the first time I've ever done that in my life. Anyway, bumpers go on. Make sure you get them right side up. I put them on and then realized that one was upside down and had to redo it. So anyway, getting there. Well, that's pretty much it, except for doing some adjustments. Well, actually a lot of adjustments have to be made. Don't mind those long bolts there. Gonna change those. Anyway, went back to steel instead of titanium. Yeah, install wasn't really that bad. You know, the couple points that I mentioned, make sure you remember to do that. No, gonna do some adjustments. It's really good. It's just really weird. Gotta ask CCW why there's the 12 FastAce, not the 13. And the other thing is, these were definitely, if you saw from the, when I unboxed, these were definitely like factory packaged from China. It's clear that they've not been like reopened and valved. They're supposed to be the LX13RC, AHX13RC, with special tuning by CCW with oil and seals and all that stuff. Well, these are 12s, and they came in, tuning by WARP9. These are 12s, and they came in, the factory China packaging. Obviously, they've never been opened. So, need to find out about that. What am I saying about charged cyclers? I got this came directly from WARP9. So, anyway, need to ask about that and make sure I got the right forks here. So, quick update, day 2. So, this was the solution for the headlight bracket not working in the rearward position. The WARP9 triple clamp has forward and rear position, which is great. Forward is too far forward for me. If you're like 6'4", it'd be great. Rearward is basically the stock position, where this is closer centered over the tube. Anyway, the stock headlight bracket only works with the holes in the forward bar position. In the rearward bar position, it's blocking the holes, and it doesn't matter if you flip it upside down, right side up, doesn't help. Standard, if you do it this way, it's blocked by the bottom, the curve of this clamp. So I originally just stuck it out like that, but no, that's not a good solution. Plus you got a gap there you would have to fill with washers, which would look like crap. So the only way to get it to clear, hold on, I'll try to show you. So what you're trying to clear is this curve on the bottom of the stem lock. So like that. So stock, handlebar clamp is hitting there. Had to grind off some material so this will fit in the regular hole position, and clear the bottom of the bar holder. So that's it, all finished and in place. Yes, I know the front bolts are still too long. I'm trying to find black bolts of the right length. Anyway, there it is. So that's the solution. You have to do some custom fabrication on this bracket, have it so that the front part there is up instead of down. I had it down before, and you can see there's where I cut it. Had to cut it on that side, had to cut it on this side, so it clears, you know, your WARP9 handlebar holder. Anyway, that's it. My request to WARP9 is please provide a headlight bracket that works with these in the rear position, because as it stands, you can only use the handlebars in the forward position with a stock headlight bracket. All right, so here she is now that it's all done on the Dirt Beast. To me, this setup is absolutely, totally freaking gorgeous. I love how it looks. You know, rather than riding and putting a GoPro on and doing some footage talking about how it rides off jumps, I'm just going to summarize it for you here while you look at some beauty shots of this gorgeous setup. So let's go over, first of all, the pros and cons. I've now spent about, 4 or 5 months riding with the WARP9 combo, so I have some experience to talk about it. First of all, the pros. As you can see, totally gorgeous, beautiful, beautiful build. The triple clamp I'm talking about here, WARP9 triple clamp, looks great. Build quality of it, absolutely fantastic, super, super strong, and the tolerances very, very tight. So just, you know, it oozes high-end quality, which is typical of most WARP9 components. My bike is like 65% WARP9 now, so quality is just fantastic. Just looking at WARP9's site now, I see that the new WARP9 combo includes a newer version, looks like a brand new version of the AHX12 fork with many, many improvements. I'll put on the screen here again and not go over them here, but has a bunch of improvements. So that's very cool. I wish mine had had that fork too. What else about pros? The fork is much, much stiffer, much stronger feeling, less flexy, obviously, than the Dorado. Just feels much, much stiffer, stronger, more confidence inspiring. Other very important thing, over jumps. Now I'm not doing 70-foot triples obviously, but over jumps where I at least get 4 or 5 feet off the ground, they don't bottom out at all. Has a perfect amount of rebound coming off the face of the jump, so you have a nice level attitude in the midair. And to say it briefly, it's the level of fork, the performance level of fork that this build deserves. The power, the weight of this bike, it deserves this quality, this strength, this level of fork. The Dorado is just too light duty for this bike. Other pro, it's not super, super expensive at $900 to $1,000 for the combo, considering what the prices are of some other forks in the Surron market. So I think it's not really a terrible price. And finally, it's just an absolutely great feeling fork. Very solid, very confidence inspiring, like I said, and besides, it looks just absolutely gorgeous. As far as cons are concerned, it's really hard for me to come up with negatives about this combo. Very few. The main one, obviously, to me, is the weight. Much, much heavier compared to the Dorado. Front end of the bike, it wasn't very light before with that huge battery, but now the front end feels even heavier. So, you know, it's pretty heavy combo, but again, it's just a trade-off for the strength. The strength that this bike needs, that's how much your fork is going to weigh. So, not a big deal. Still, you know, like I said, not very expensive compared to the competition, but still $900 to $1,000. It's not cheap. You can obviously get much cheaper if you really wanted to. And on that topic, the final minus is at WARP9, they only put things on sale only once per year on Black Friday. So yeah, if you want to get them on sale, you're going to have to wait for once a year. Okay, so that's it. As you can tell, I absolutely love this combo of the WARP9 triple clamps and the FastAce fork. Just feels fantastic on my Dirt Beast. Besides looking beautiful, you know, strong, responsive, and it's highly functional. So this combo, super, super highly recommended. That's it, and thanks for watching.